What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Outside Line Media Podcast. It's your boys back at it again. It's Patrick,
Ryan.
and
We had a casual week of racing this weekend.
casual week,
crazy.
but some interesting things still happening. NASCAR at Martinsville. Let's hop right into it. The Xfinity race. Can they stop crashing into each other?
I just want to say that I loved hearing the Xfinity series called a dumpster fire. They called it worse than a dumpster fire, actually.
Did you not hear Lee Diffie correct himself? It's not a dumpster fire because dumpster fires are contained.
It's beautiful. I mean, it was actually
not Lee
beautiful.
Diffie, Mike Joy. Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike Joy. But yeah, that was an absolute joke. I believe some penalties were handed out today, some fines, big money fines. But I mean, fines does nothing in the Xfinity series. There's a deep issue in that series with the care. The move made was just not.
They need to start banning drivers from races, then maybe they'll listen.
Yeah, I just think it's become so inflated that they don't really care about the cars, and they do stupid shit where they come from like 17 car lengths back and dump somebody.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's irresponsible.
It's not a bump and run, it's a dump and run, and that shit's not cool.
It was very good to see the Cup race be, in comparison, a lot more civilized. I mean, it's Martinsville. It's never going to be really civilized, but the Cup race was about as civilized as it can get. Most of the accidents coming from not intentional. A couple escorts up the track, as you do at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's your short track racing.
That is just short track racing. Overall, it was a pretty good race, I'd have to say. Overall, I enjoyed the Cup race.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin coming out with the win there. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Denny versus the world. How would you feel about that? I don't like this. I don't get it.
He's in a top-tier car. Joe Gibbs Racing is not a bad car.
Yeah, I don't think it's Denny versus the world.
I would call that probably the top Toyota, right?
I mean, it's Steve-O's team. I mean, he won 3 races in a row. So
yeah.
And I mean, they had won 2. So
yeah, like I don't think that's really a thing. I mean, if anything, that just goes to show how much Denny Hamlin's fallen off. I think if they're trying to do this whole Denny Hamlin versus the world thing, like,
I mean, I think it's cool to celebrate, and I'm happy for Denny Hamlin. I have nothing against him.
Yeah.
But weird spin take on it. I know it's been 10 years since he won Martinsville. I think that was a stat, like something crazy like that. He hasn't won it in 10 years. So, like, cool. I mean, I guess you could do Denny versus Martinsville, but, like, not versus the world. Denny Hamlin's a top-tier driver on a top-tier team. He's a team owner. Like,
yeah.
Also, just on that note, it is so funny, and I do like the Toyota commercial that just explains it. It is so funny that he owns a team, but he races for a different team.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still under Toyota, but it's just kind of funny.
And they're technical alliance teams too, so
I guess technically it is Denny Hamlin versus NASCAR. I mean, they're in an active lawsuit, so maybe if that's his world, if his world is NASCAR, then it is Denny Hamlin versus the world because he's
legally in the state of North Carolina or wherever that lawsuit is filed. Denny Hamlin versus the world.
It's Denny Hamlin v. the world. So you know what? I take everything back.
Let's update the court record. Update the court record.
It is Denny Hamlin versus the world. But
you know what? I'm gonna on top of that, I'm just gonna say it's Michael Jordan versus the world, man.
Love it. So while we're on NASCAR, let's take a peep at our predictions. I just want to get this out of the way. Horrific week for me. Didn't get a single top 3. My hit the apex was Alex Bowman saying he'd be top 5. Boy, was I wrong. My miss the apex was Denny Hamlin. So I did just say I like Denny Hamlin. Clearly I didn't in the predictions last week.
Maybe you just need to like have Denny pay you off to put him on miss the apex every week. He'll be winning every single race.
Maybe I need to start putting Seabell on Misty Apex.
Maybe.
If it works like this.
At least for Phoenix, you'll have to. Because, I mean, as long as he wins, you know, he's already in the playoffs. So all he has to do now is win Phoenix, basically.
He has to make it through. Make it there.
Trying to explain the NASCAR playoff system to people in class today was brutal.
Yeah, I don't think we have the time nor desire right now to talk about NASCAR places.
No, that's going to be an off
horrible
week.
week of predictions.
Yeah.
Horrible week of predictions by me. The only one I got right was that there'd be no wall ride penalty, which is kind of a free thing.
It's not a free thing because I decided to spice it up a little bit. But
I respect it. How many points did you get?
I got 3. So I got 2 out of my 3 top 3s. I had Seabell in first and Bubba Wallace in second. So obviously just shift those 2 down. We're not going to talk about the fact that I had Kyle Busch P3 and also Kyle Busch as my Hit the Apex.
It happens.
Horrendously bad take from me this week.
It happens.
He was what, like 27th or something like that?
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't.
Somewhere deep in the order. My Miss the Apex, free space. I had Carson Hocevar. Look, I've said this multiple times. I like him as a person. I think he's doing great things for kind of like showing us behind the scenes of NASCAR a little bit more and showing a little bit more personality. He just sucks at driving.
I was going to say, also, if you do this again, I'd like to contend missing the apex for Carson Hocevar has to be like not finishing the race because he's always in the back. So
he was in a wreck this week too, though. So like,
it wasn't his fault. That one wasn't his fault.
Stop saying that out loud. We don't need to pay attention to that. He was in a wreck.
It wasn't his fault. He got driven into. Fucked up. I'm about to get on the track and drive into Kyle Larson and make mine miss the apex hit. All right, fucked up.
I said there would be a wall ride penalty, and I said there would be 4 cautions. We ended what with 5, 6, 5?
Oh I don't know.
A
6,
lot more.
7.
Yeah,
more than that. It was 3 by the end of stage 2, so I knew I was cooked.
Yeah, but
yeah, overall good race.
We are now, I believe. Oh, I should have had this pulled up.
We are me and Patrick.
We're talking about this right now.
We are going to Bristol.
Oh, yeah, we are. That is not where I thought I was going.
No, we are going to Bristol.
We've still got 2 weeks until then. So
2 weeks. So obviously our predictions.
We'll cover it on the podcast next week more in depth.
Hopefully we'll film a little bit of content while we're down there. We'll see how the vibes are. I'm really excited. My first NASCAR race in 6 years.
My first NASCAR race.
In Bristol, I've heard from so many. We have good tickets too. Good tickets.
So yeah, anybody that's going to be at Bristol backstretch, we're on Yarborough Row. Come out and see us. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, we're only doing race day, not race weekend. We acquired some free tickets.
I will not be belligerently drunk, unfortunately, because we have to drive 5 hours back.
Shout out Patrick.
Yeah.
Shout out Patrick. I will also be not belligerently drunk in case I need.
I'll probably be a little tipsy, just a couple of driving beers. You guys know what the vibe is.
Actually,
please don't drink and drive. I do not take any responsibility for people that drink and drive because of this episode. Had to cover that real quick.
Don't drink and drive, but Tennessee does not have open container laws. Do with that information what you will. You can have a road beer in Tennessee.
That's good to know.
I'm not a lawyer. Not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I figured this out while I was drunk in a car going in Tennessee. That maybe not the driver, but a passenger can have an open beer and just.
Hell yeah!
I think
maybe I should move to Tennessee.
I think, but yeah, we'll be at Bristol, so expect that coming up. Obviously, that's not the next race. Next is Martinsville, Martinsville.
Jesus.
Next is Darlington.
Historic race. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm excited for it.
Wait, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, MotoGP at Coda. Patrick, I'll let you take this away. Chaotic start. I missed a little bit of it. I was a little busy, but I've seen some recaps. I think Patrick has a better grasp on it than me of the overall vibe, so I'll let you.
Yeah, so basically watching on broadcast, because I was watching on Fox, I wasn't watching on the MotoGP app. It might have been the same there. But they start with the rider intros and everything, and then the screen just goes black in the middle of it. So I'm like, okay, great, fucking broadcast issues, Fox, thank you. Nope. It cuts to Marc Marquez and about 13 other drivers sprinting down the pit lane. So there had been raining conditions earlier in the day on Sunday, and that caused a mixture on the grid of dry tires and rain tires. I guess just standing there, because that's exactly what it looks like. Maybe his race engineer told him something. We haven't fully figured anything out. But all of a sudden, he's just standing there and then just dips and starts sprinting to the pit lane. The minute Marc Marquez starts sprinting to the pit lane, everyone else on rain tires started sprinting to the pit lane. And the whole, like, the screwed up situation with that is, I think that MotoGP pulled a NASCAR here and did a horrible job officiating it. They then threw the red flag for safety reasons, which I'm chill with. Throw the red flag for safety reasons. You can't have people running all over a hot pit lane. But then they just let everyone take back their grid spots, which I think MotoGP has a rule where it's like, if you cause a red flag or a delayed start, you are moved to the back of the pack. They really should have had the people that started on the rain tires moving or starting from the pit lane, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The people that were on the grid on dries made a gamble that worked out for them and should have been rewarded. Yeah. So that's my rant about that. Marc Marquez pulled out like a 2-second lead and then pulled a Marc Marquez and crashed while in the lead because he took a little bit too much curb in the wet. Broke off his entire right-hand side of his bike, basically. Still rode it for like another 5-6 laps. But eventually, Bagnaia won that race. Alex Marquez came in second, and without winning a race this year so far, Alex Marquez has taken the lead in the MotoGP championship.
Wild.
So, yeah, MotoGP is heating up for a good season. It just sucks that it's so hard to watch. Either you have to spend $180 a year or wake up at 3 a.m. to watch it on Fox. So I'm going to catch every race I can from them this year, but no guarantees with anything. It's a rough series to watch.
I caught the tail end of it, so I witnessed the Marquez crash and all that. But yeah, MotoGP, code up, it can't be bad.
Oh, it was a banger race. And just seeing the physicality of that track from a rider standpoint, the amount of weight shifting you're doing just constantly back and forth, wild.
Oh yeah, wild stuff. I mean, it's crazy. Just especially both of us having rode motorcycles. I don't know how the fuck they do it. Like,
60-degree lean angle is wild.
I lean like this much, and I'm like, I'm a MotoGP rider. Get my knee down, I'm ready, and then I'm not even a quarter of their angle.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. I love that series so much. Speaking of MotoGP, Moto America is racing at Barber this weekend. That was an amazing race last year. We had some mixed conditions, and looking at the weather this weekend, I think it's going to be mixed conditions down there again. We just got hit by a huge severe weather system. We're getting hit by another one this weekend. I think that's the entire eastern part of the United States.
Yeah, big old storms were coming through. I mean, it's just the rain for 5 days straight or something. I saw.
We're getting 5.5 to 6 inches of rain over the next few days.
Can't wait for my roof to leak again.
Can't wait to not be able to drive on Route 8.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get into what we've got going on this week. We've got NASCAR, Formula One, and Moto America as kind of the main series running this week. Let's hop into our predictions now. We've got one more little series that we'll give you guys a little sneak peek of at the end of the episode, but that's going to be a little bit of a special one for us. Also, real quick, Spring 50 at Florence Speedway. Josh Rice pulling off an amazing win, great battling all throughout the field. Did not get to go see it, but I was able to watch the replay, and it was a banger race.
Yeah, we and Patrick got out to Lawrenceburg Speedway for their test and tune day that same day earlier in the morning. It was my first time using a camera at a racetrack. I had a lot of fun. I actually shockingly got like a couple decent photos. Obviously, be a lead up to some other stuff, so we'll get into that later. But so let's start with NASCAR at Darlington. Let's just rip into it. On my top 3, I said screw it. Well, I still have Seavell on here, but don't worry. I went Bubba Wallace win. The man is due. Bubba Wallace is due for.
He's been pretty consistent this season too. I've been loving seeing it.
I think this is going to be the year I think this will be his first multi-win year.
With the struggles he's had the last couple seasons, I'm happy seeing the consistency he's had.
I am, and he's driving smart, and he's just most
definitely
of the races
he's driving smart, and he could be a championship contender come the end of the year.
Yeah.
Everyone
so I got
could be.
Bubba Wallace first. Ross Chastain second, and Seabell third. We'll get into my Ross Chastain take here in a second.
Okay, I was gonna say this is a fever dream of a top three.
I wanted to throw because I had such a bad week. You got to change it up. You know, you got to throw the slider after you throw the heat. You know.
So I decided to stop triggering Ryan this week. I kept calling Christopher Bell Midstopher Bell for the meme last week. It's one of my favorite things to do to get Ryan to crash out. But I've got Midstopher Bell in P1 this week. He is not going to be middle of the pack. He's going to be first for one.
For the fourth time.
Yep. Then I've got William Byron P2, and if it's broke, don't fix it. I've got Kyle Busch P3, baby.
Run it back. Run it back. Who do you got hitting the apex, Pat?
I got Kyle Busch with a top 15. I've lowered my standards.
That is so true. I got Ross Chastain hitting the apex. I'm giving him top 10 because one of them's going to hit.
Yeah.
He did decent at Martinsville. Decent. I think he's due. Ross
Didn't
Chastain's
he murder somebody, supposedly?
We're not talking about that.
Oh, it was Joey Logano. That's right. Yeah, I don't care then.
Was it him? I don't know.
Yeah, Joey Logano's was talking shit in the media about Ross Chastain.
Yeah. First top 10 finish as a former champion, you fucking bum. So I think he's going to have a good
round
lead.
6?
Yeah. 7? I don't know. Something like that. But yeah.
Round 6, and you just finally finished in the top 10. Great job, Joey Logano. You're an amazing driver.
I don't feel bad for you. You have murdered so many people.
Somehow he's going to win the championship this year.
I won't talk about it. So who do you got missing the apex, Patrick?
It's a Kyle party. I've got Kyle Larson missing the apex.
Wow. You know what's crazy? So do I.
Look, this is just, I don't know why. Darlington just kind of gives me Atlanta vibes. And we know how Atlanta goes for Kyle Larson. He finally finished the race this year. He finally finished it.
He finished 4th last year at Darlington, so
yeah, I know.
I agree with you though. I think it's going to be a rough.
I think Kyle Busch finished like 3rd last year, like pretty high up. I was gonna say that's why I had him on this, and also just Kyle Busch at a historic track. I want to see it.
So we're both in agreement here with the old Kyle Busch. What's our threshold? Let's say we gotta both set one here for Kyle Larson outside the top 10.
I mean, I went top 15 for Kyle Busch, so I'd say outside the top 15.
Okay.
I think with where that RCR is, too, you can negate this if you want, but I think top 15 is a hit the apex for Kyle Busch. The way this season's going. Yeah. That RCR just sucks.
Yeah. So we think there's going to be overtime. We think we're going to finish in overtime, Patrick.
I said no.
I don't think so either. I think the boys are going to behave.
It's a wide track.
We'll leave the overtime to the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Cup Series could definitely get, like, 5 wide at Darlington across the line. So I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue.
They should keep it straight. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Darlington.
Yeah, and then we've got Formula One at Suzuka. That's going to be a 1 a.m. watch time for us. Oh, wait, you're not staying up.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you are. I don't know why I was thinking this was next week at Bristol.
We're both at Bristol, bro.
I know. I don't, dude. And
I took work off the next day.
My brain isn't working.
It happens. Long day.
But yeah, I'll stay. We'll be staying up for Formula One at Suzuka. Hopefully, caffeinate and just get it going. I think it's a 1 a.m. race, so it's not horrible. It's not.
That's fine.
It's not 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'll take it. I will take it. What's your top 3 for Formula One, Patrick?
So I've decided to be logical this week and not chase a pipe dream. I said Oscar Piastri winning, Lando Norris in P2, Charles Leclerc in P3. I think that is a bang on Suzuka podium.
You are not going to believe me. I have the exact top 3.
It's going to happen.
I mean, Oscar, Lando, Charles is my top 3. That is wild.
Dude, the vibes are just there for Suzuka.
It felt right. It feels right. I really debated between flipping Lando and Oscar since, I don't know. I'm just going to roll with the Oscar train.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just more of an Oscar fan than a Lando fan, personally. So that's why I put him up there, and I just rate him higher as a driver. And
While we're on
then
this,
I
did
was
you see the Haas?
struggling. Yeah, the Haas looks
The
amazing. Did
Haas
you see the
livery.
Red Bull?
I just want to say the liveries this weekend are chef's kiss. I
Red
know this is the
Bull, like
middle of
I
our
was
predictions.
excited because they said it was going to be white, and I was like, "Oh, we're getting a turkey rerun." No, with that like metallic Red Bull on the side. Oh, the
Did you
pink
see
Haas.
we were gonna get pink Red Bull, but it was too heavy.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
I
Haas
mean,
don't give a fuck about weight.
I'm fine with the white Red Bull. Red Bull just should run a white Red Bull one season, full season,
They
run
should.
it white.
I would like that. I would like that.
Did you see Max's helmet?
Oh,
White with the
I
lily
love.
blossoms on it.
I love the helmets. I love everything about Suzuka.
I'm excited for Yuki's helmet because we haven't seen his helmet for this weekend. So it's going to be a full blown Red Bull Racing helmet. Then with the Yuki's theme, going to be amazing. Who's your hit the apex for this weekend?
Carlos Sainz.
Bro, why are our vibes the same?
What is going on?
I don't have Carlos Sainz, but I've got Alex Albon.
The Williams are going to do good, I think. I do think the Williams are going to have kind of a, not that they've been doing bad, but a better weekend this weekend.
I mean, I think you just meet Carlos. It's been amazing from Alex's side of the garage. Carlos is just not adapted well to that car yet.
It's going to take time. Alex Albon's had years of zero.
Look, and I just want to silence the Alex haters now. Like, you guys said he was just going to get stomped on by Carlos, and
I've been silenced.
Like, Alex has been doing a phenomenal job this year. Yeah. And I said,
we
I put
haven't
points.
Really had time to see.
Yeah,
I put points.
I put points as my threshold.
We really haven't been able to see truly once they're adapted to the car. But Albon, you can't, even if Carlos finished one ahead of him, Albon's still doing a great job. No doubt. So,
yeah, I think that this was really, finally, Alex has had a teammate that he can prove himself against. Because his one teammate to really prove himself against has been, I mean, I guess Daniel Kvyat in the Toro Rosso back then. Which then he got promoted to Red Bull because he was doing a good job. Then he got killed by Max, which everyone gets killed by Max, which we'll move on to in a second. And then he's just had Latifi and Logan Sargent. What the fuck is a kilometer?
Yeah, tough scenes. He got missed in the Apex, Patrick.
You're gonna hate me for this. I've got Yuki Tsunoda missing the apex.
I mean, I figured you would.
Look, I'm not a Yuki hater. I think that he should have gotten the Red Bull seat straight up. This is not coming from a place of hate. I mean, this is coming from a place of hate for the Red Bull car. Just being a difficult car to drive because of how snappy it is. And I think that Yuki's going to struggle adapting to that, and he's going to finish outside the points.
I got what used to be a free space, but sadly this year hasn't. Lance Stroll missing the apex.
What is going on with him, dude?
The steam has to run out. Eventually he will go back to peak Lance Stroll form, and I think it'll start this week. But continuing this conversation about Yuki, let's roll into our last question, which was, will Yuki Tsunoda finish in the points?
Yeah, we got $5 riding on this one too.
Yeah, obviously, big money. Big money. Obviously, you're no. I'm yes.
That's Ryan's monthly salary right there.
All right, settle down there, buddy.
Yeah, I don't pay you. You're right.
Yeah, come on. This is a negative venture. Come on now. I do think the Red Bull isn't as good of a car it is, and I do know Max is dragging that car up, but I refuse to believe that thing is actually out 17th, 18th, 19th slow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still, at worst, the fourth best car. At worst.
I see that, but also it's a hard car to drive because of that snappy characteristic.
I think Yuki is going to do good, and maybe not even against Liam Lawson. Just didn't work. I don't rate Liam Lawson highly. I agree with you. I think Yuki should have had that seat from the start, and all this 3-race shenanigans has caused is unnecessary problems. If you would have put Yuki in the car off the start, no one would be talking about this.
Well, and it's like they should have given, straight up, they put Liam in the car. They should have given him more than 2 races, too.
Yeah, that is the other thing. As much as I don't like Liam Lawson, it is crazy to only give him 2 races, especially 2 tracks he had never raced at, and then take him to Suzuka. where he has raced.
Yeah, he's raced a
And not let
ton
him
of
drive.
Suzuka and had amazing results in Super Formula there.
So, I
Which,
mean, I think Yuki will do well and Liam will continue as he was, but
yeah,
maybe not. But it's going to be a huge problem for Red Bull if what you think comes true and Yuki does bad. If Liam Lawson
outscores Yuki, then it's gonna
be bad.
it might finally be a wake up call to Red Bull. Like, hey, we need to make this car more drivable. Because, like, I don't think that the Red Bull is slow. I just think it's hard to drive. Objectively, it's probably the fastest car on the track. If someone can handle driving it, which even Max is having trouble driving it because he's having tire deg issues from it being so snappy. I don't think that's a bad car. I just think it's a hard to drive car. I think that they need to focus on making it an easier car to drive for that second seat.
I'm really excited to see this weekend what the state of that Red Bull is.
I saw this meme online. You know how Yuki's been considered the RB killer? Like, every single teammate he's gone against in Toro Rosso and AlphaTauri, he's beaten, and they've left Formula One or gone to a different team, except for Pierre, I guess, since Pierre. Then it's got the Max Verstappen, him killing all his teammates, and it's the Grim Reaper going door to door, and it's the two of them meeting in the middle to see who's gonna win.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it is weird though because this Yuki venture at most is a year, right? With Hondo departing,
unless he really proves himself, and but like
Honda,
Yuki's loyal to Honda. Like, he low-key owes his entire junior career to that, his entire career to them. I don't know. Go to Red Bull Racing, get that check for a few years, and open your restaurant, Yuki. Follow your dreams, man. Because we know Formula One's not your dream.
Live your dreams, Yuki. Never change.
But
so overall, I'm really excited weekend. A lot of storylines. The main one, obviously, front lines being Liam versus Yuki. Very curious to see how that happens.
Yeah.
And what goes on with that. But I mean, I'm hyped. I cannot lie. I am excited.
Yeah, and I'm hyped. We've got it's my first. I guess it's not your first because you went to Daytona. But we've got our first race weekend as an organization this weekend. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. The
6
weather
inches of
really
rain.
bad.
The weather looks horrible. But damn it, if that race is on, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
We're going to be up at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course with the World Racing League, which is an endurance racing organization. Primarily GT cars, but they do have one category of prototypes, which is really sick for a small racing team, for a small league. This is not even a spectator event officially. We just have season passes up there and we're allowed to go to the non-spectators, but we're going to be up there covering it, trying to bring you guys some really cool content, doing some good photos and everything, especially if it rains, but the race is on. There's going to be some sick photos, some sick videos coming out this weekend.
Yeah. So that was the whole purpose of the Lawrenceburg thing was was trying to learn photography for motorsports, and I had a lot of fun actually. I've been kind of worried on myself, being like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this whole photography thing. I was afraid it would take away maybe from my race. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to get some actual racing and not just individual cars and get to work on that aspect of it. And really, obviously, it's going to be a while before I'm producing decent photos up to what I'd like to be able to do. But really excited for WRL. It's a foreign series to me.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
I only found out about the series when I was at PRI this year, and I met one of the factory drivers from the Suzuka race team, which is the main manufacturer of the prototype that runs there. And we just got to talking, and it's actually, this is going to sound wild, but it's a minorly affordable race series. I mean, you can buy a running car for $100,000 in a prototype category, ready to race.
Wow, love that.
I love supporting the series that are affordable for drivers to run. And I've been seeing WRL actually getting some love lately, specifically with the Suzuka prototype. So it's been kind of weird to me seeing that, then finding out about this series and now seeing a little bit more about it going on with some of the influencers that I follow. Like Cameron Dass has been doing some content on it. He was a Formula 4 driver over in Europe. That I was following his career since he was in karts, and it's exciting seeing almost a revolution with racing and seeing more people getting into it and more levels of being able to get into actually racing.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's also our first Mid-Ohio race with season passes. So that's also another
We love
bonus
Mid-Ohio.
point on this. So we love Mid-Ohio.
Except
Really
for the
excited.
weather.
Really, we'll see. Hopefully, it's not a rain out. Especially because if it's rained out, I not only can't go to race, I'm going to the DMV if it gets rained out. So please,
And that's if it
please
rains
don't.
out. That's if it rains out early enough. Because if it rains out on our way up there or when we get there, that's going to be brutal. Because we're leaving at probably about 6 in the morning to head up there.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Really hope we make it. Obviously, you'll know we'll post some photos.
There's going to be some
hopefully.
stuff on Instagram, and then hopefully we'll have some video content for you guys from the track as well.
Yeah, and we'll get some obviously next week we'll recap it. I'm really excited to get into WRL.
Then we've got Bristol,
and we got Bristol next week. I'm super excited for that. Yeah, I'm hyped. My racing tism is fully going now. We're back. Obviously, I went to Daytona, so it's been going. But
yeah,
really excited to get out to NASCAR, which is something I did not think could happen this year.
We looked at going to Bristol this year. $130 tickets were a barrier to entry.
Yeah, and when we got free tickets and we only had to pay for one, it's great. So we're gonna go. We're gonna have a great time. $130 race weekend for me, free for Patrick, minus having to drive 10 hours and pay for gas. It's gonna be a grand old time. I have a really busy weekend for me that whole weekend. We got IMSA. Obviously, we'll recap this. We'll talk about this next weekend, but it's also IMSA and IndyCar Long Beach.
And F1.
F1, yeah.
Somewhere.
F1's racing. So
they're racing somewhere in the world.
I've been saying we're back, but we are. I'm just happy. It's racing season. Next couple months, the actual in-person events are going to start picking up. So very curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, we've got about 20 events we're going to this year now, I think. I think we're past the 20 mark now.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. Hopefully we'll see you guys at some of these races, and we'll have some fun guests on our podcast that we do in person on race weekends.
Yes, I'm really excited for that. We have a lot of, obviously we're
finally going to have an intro after our first major race weekend. Ryan, you know what our intro is going to be, right?
I do not.
I think you're the one that pitched the idea of we're doing a King of the Hill theme intro.
Yes. With
the cars going past. That's going to be our intro. Excited. We just have to figure out how we're going to film it and where we're going to film it.
That's Sam's problem. That's Sam's problem.
Sam has some new stuff that he's going to be taking on in the company too. We're doing a little bit of a pivot that I haven't told you about yet, Ryan, but I'm excited for what it is for us.
Cool. I'm excited to learn. What this
literally happened while I was at class, while I was waiting for class today. I called Sam 10 minutes before I was going into class, ran it by him, and we're running with it.
Let's go.
This is all I'm going to tease to the 6 people so far that are watching our episodes. We're actually getting some more views rolling in now. I did a little advertising on the IndyCar subreddit, so if you're here from the IndyCar subreddit, thanks for watching.
No IndyCar content today. We love IndyCar.
But IndyCar needs to race more. Thank you. But morning brew for racing. Just that's all I have to say.
Oh, I like that.
It's going to be a fun time. We're working out the kinks on it right now. I'm doing a full website redesign to adapt to all of it and just to get away from Google Sites. But we've got some really excited things in the pipeline now. So I'm super excited to bring it all to you guys with everyone here at the Outside Line Media team. Of course, me and Ryan are going to keep going with the podcasts. I just enjoy doing these.
These are conversations me and Patrick would have. We get to have little predictions, a little game, some scores, talk shop. It's great. I can't complain. Excited to have some more guests on.
This podcast will never change in the entire, no matter how big Outside Line Media gets, we might just be filming in person instead.
Yeah.
This podcast will never change. You have my word from that. It's always going to be people talking racing.
Yeah, and vibes, pure vibes.
We're never
excited to
bringing
have some
data
guests
into the
on.
predictions game. It's always going to be vibes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have some guests on. Obviously, me and Patrick have a lot of friends who already have motorsports content and do podcasts. So obviously, we did the one with Podium Pop. We're gonna obviously have them on.
We're going to have them on the weekend of IndyCar at Mid-Ohio, most likely, if not before then.
And then
Celine
IMSA
from Podium
Mid-Ohio,
Pop might be on for IMSA at
she'll be there.
Mid-Ohio. She'll be there, so we'll probably just have her on the podcast.
Yeah, so we have plenty of friends who do motorsports content and stuff, and obviously shout out our friends, follow our friends if you're not all following them.
Podium Pop,
Motorsports Marley,
Laps Down
Paddock
podcast,
Laps Down,
Paddock Princess.
Try and make sure I get the whole
Anyone
list
else that
going.
we're forgetting, go to the list of people that we follow and people that follow us
Paddock
and just
Potato.
follow them. Paddock Potato. All of them. Everyone.
I'm sorry if we forgot you. We love you all.
We love you all. We just have too many people that we know that do this stuff, and we didn't write down a list before the pod.
We weren't even playing, so yeah, it happens. But yeah, good week of race coming up. Darlington, Suzuka, Barbara, Mid-Ohio. We'll be at Mid-Ohio. Fingers crossed, weather bearing. Get out to your local tracks.
Somewhere halfway in Ohio.
We might end up just bullshitting in Columbus. Who knows what happens? You know,
depends on if we're up there or not.
Yeah, so get out to your local track, dirt track, whatever it is. Get there, watch some local racing, support your lower series.
2 weeks, we're going to have some dirt racing content on the channel. We're going to have a lot of friends out for dollar days at Florence Speedway. So we'll be bringing that content in 2 weeks.
I'll be hammered.
Everyone, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Ryan, final words of wisdom.
God bless our troops. God bless America. Gentlemen,
start your engines.
Start your engines.
Hell yeah, brother. Everyone have a great day. Peace.
Peace.